Today we're joining you from the hallway of our house. In 2019, we bought our dream house. Just kidding. We bought the cheapest house in Lehigh that we could afford, and originally it was about 1,000 square feet, craftsman kind of style home, and at some point in the 40s they built an addition onto it, which we tore down. In place of the old addition, we built a 2,600 square feet addition with a garage. And when I say we built, what does that mean, Zeb?
We built it. The only thing we didn't build was the foundation and install the HVAC.
It was a lot of work, and there was a lot of things that didn't get done. So we thought we'd chronicle some of the remodel projects. I don't think it really classifies as remodel because really it's just finishing what we started. For Christmas this year, we asked the kids what they wanted. There was a lot of things on their list, but what they really wanted was a more modern shower. Originally, we had plumbed in a clawfoot tub that we imported from Hungary, and we refinished and it was beautiful, but the kids don't really take baths a lot, and showering in it wasn't great.
Our kids do a lot of sports, and they're not really ones to take long soaks in the antique clawfoot tub every evening after doing their sporting events. They like to get in, shower, get on with their homework as the rest of their evening.
So because of that, they were using our shower, they were using my mom's shower, and never using their own. So we decided that it was time to remove the really not used clawfoot tub so somebody else could have it and put in a new tub and shower. The only problem is to tile a shower takes a long time and a lot of skill, and we just decided to find something easy. So we went to Home Depot and found a kit that we could put in a day, or at least that's what it said.
It was about a day, probably all total to redo this and put the plumbing where it needed to be and install the tub and the shower, about 8 to 10 hours. So a day's worth of work.
One of the things that we really needed to work on was the buffet under the sink. The sink was fully functional, but we never caulked it in. The buffet was falling apart. Mostly because the kids pulled on the doors, but also because there was just some finished work that Zeb needed to do.
What really happened is this cast iron, it was all put together at one point and looked great, but the cast iron sink was really heavy and it sagged and it made those doors really hard to open. So keep in mind, if you're gonna do a conversion on a dresser or a buffet like this, that you gotta account for that weight if you're putting a really heavy sink on the top of it. Once those doors started sticking, they couldn't open them, so they eventually just, by force, they fell off and they ripped those little screws out that hold those hinges on. So I just took a little sander and a little bit of glue and some dowels, and we fixed these doors up and nailed the front drawers that aren't functional because the plumbing is behind them back in place, and everything looks fine.
I know we're gonna get this question. We finished the buffet in DIY's vintage linen and sealed it with Big Top. 2 years later, it's still in pretty good condition. We just need to do a little touch up and it's good to go. Our floors are done in a wash of DIY's White Swan or beadboard. I can't even remember which one it was so long ago. And then we just sealed them up with Big Top and they've held up really well. They're actually, in the addition, the only floors that were actually sealed with a liquid sealer as opposed to oil-based oil wax, which is what the rest of the floors are done with.
All right, we have the tub in. It was a little effort to get the plumbing situated because the clawfoot tub's drain was about right here and I had to run plumbing over there. So we had to cut a little hole in the floor. This is what's left of that mess. And then run the overflow drain and connect that. So that's all connected. Water turns on good. These were poking way out here. I was originally going to fix these up and put a cover on here, but that never happened. We talk about getting this house 90%. You can see it leaked for a little while, and we also had a little bit of flooding back here from Jack playing in the clawfoot tub and swimming in it. So hopefully this is gonna be a little bit better system. I'm about to come bring in the backer, and I'm gonna have to cut a hole for this and 2 holes for these, and I have some shorter nipples here. These ones are really long, and what we'll do is we'll shorten those up to the appropriate length. So that tub is part of this kit here. You can just use it as the tub if you want, but these are the walls, and it's kind of cool. It looks like subway tile, and it's got this shelf in here that's 13 inches tall for shampoo and razors and soap and all that good stuff. And you can even put your own tile in if you want and make it custom to match whatever else you got going on. Well, it's ours now. All right, so here's one panel, And I believe this is going to be the back panel, and you just screw these straight into studs. I will read directions further and then we'll show you.
Zeb's installing the first panel.
Oh, it fits in.
It's supposed to be so simple.
So now, so this sits on this lip, and then when you're done, you caulk it. But right here, I just put screws all along here where the studs are, and then go down here, and then I put the next piece in. Should be easy.
You're kind of breathy. Was that hard to do?
I'm just tired, I think. And then you screw in the top.
Look at that. You cut that exactly right.
I know. Now that we've added this little wall, we just got to put some more shiplap on there, work around some of the trim, retrim some of it out, and then we'll go ahead and get some caulking done. The trim and caulking can sometimes be the most difficult part, depending on what your skill level's at. I'm not good with caulk, but I've found that a damp rag or sponge really can save a lot of mistakes and make it look pretty nice.
We did have to bump out one wall, and a lot of people thought that maybe we were going to put some storage behind there, but honestly, it's so skinny, we knew it would just be a cavernous hole. So in the end, we just decided it was a great place to put a hook to hang towels. The kids have already started using the shower even before we got it all the way finished, but the space is really great. It is a little bit small, so you're not going to see a lot of Zeb and I working in the bathroom together, or you may have noticed that. But the reason it's split up is because we have 4 children, and we wanted people to be able to use the tub or the toilet, but then the sink still be available for hair, makeup, curling, whatever, the comb with the boys. And so it just is more conducive to family life to have the spaces split up. And many times somebody's in the shower while somebody's getting ready, and it works out really well. This door has already been painted with little black dress, but Jack decided to draw a smiley face on it, so I'm just touching it up. Eventually I'll seal it with black wax like I did my door leading into our bedroom, but for now this is gonna have to do. The last thing that we have to do is attach the mirror. For 2 years, this mirror has been precariously leaning against the wall. Luckily, we've had no earthquakes.
I don't know that it's precarious if it's lasted 2 years.
I feel like it's precarious because I don't know what's holding it up, grace or prayers, but we're gonna get it secured so that way if there's ever an earthquake, it doesn't fall down, get it cleaned up, tidied up, and this bathroom is gonna be ready a week before Christmas for the kids to get in and use and stay out of our bathroom.
Yes.
People ask us all the time, like, are there ever anything that you guys argue about? And I have to say, placement of hooks and outlets is like the #1 cause for debate, because I feel like they need to be placed just right, and Zeb's like, hey, this is good.
Well, by code, outlets have to be certain distances from things, but
there is no code for hooks or toilet paper holders.
No code for hooks or toilet paper holders.
So I'm guessing the kids will probably not hang it neatly, but we have this little tag. So I'm thinking if we do it here, then it kind of hangs.
You want it to hang down below the side?
Yeah, because that's too high. Jack can't reach it. This is just about right. So just right there. The screws for this particular hook were missing. That's why we have it. It was a discontinue from the shop. Pro tip, permanent marker. It's gonna come up here. And nobody will ever know.
No one will know.
Well, I guess everybody that watches this video will know, but there you go.
They just disappeared. Okay, put the towel up there.
Hopefully the kids wipe their hands, replaced a nice new clean bar of French sea salt soap so the bathroom smells good when they wash their hands.
Okay, I think this area is done. Like, that's it.
Yeah. We have a lot more projects and rooms like this where we've got to get things finished up. So we'll hopefully take you along with that if this video gets a lot of views. So comment below and let us know if you like these types of videos, any questions that you might have about redoing your own bathroom, retrofitting it with vintage finds. And if you like this video, be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Jami Vintage for more
DIY.